I see, now I see, now I see. Long gone, and he's landing, and I realize the plug is not me, yeah!
Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wi-Fi here. Do you remember a time back in the day when Mons was really fun? Today, I was chilling in the NU room and call with a couple friends, and Braviary started a Gen 5 NU tournament. And I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a perfect way for me to take my mind off of how much of a shitfest Gen 6 NU has become. And let me build a team real quick. The last, 10 teams that I've built in Gen 5 NU, and that probably stretches all the way back into when Gen 5 NU is actually a thing. Hollywood always tells me that they're easily sweepable by SD Charizard. So I'm like, hey, you know what would be cool? Building a team around SD Flying Gem Acrobatic Charizard. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot, and I didn't put Earthquake on it. I put on Flare Blitz. But, you know, Electros and Rotom Fan are threats, apparently. Outside of that, I have Mixed Defensive Alomomola, Banded, Moldbreaker Sock, because the best way to prevent Stealth Rock in this tier is to Oko Golem and Probopass through Sturdy. It's not actually to spin. Physically defensive Masharna. I have the old bread and butter Sub-Bulk Braviary. If you're new to my channel, that's kinda how I started my channel. And of course, I just have lead Golurk with the old Stealth Rock. I think I actually have a Pasho Berry on this one, just to beat opposing Seismitoad leads, which I thought he was going to be. This is round 1 of the tournament, by the way, so I'm just going to start it off here. I get a Brox against a Vileplume. I'm going to go for Earthquake, because I assume he's going to predict me to either go into Charizard or Braviary on the Giga Drain, so I know, heyo, look at me making plays turn 2, just going for Earthquake, knowing I don't actually have to switch out, because I know he's just going to go for Sludge Bomb. And worst case scenario, I get a free switch to Braviary on the next turn regardless. I go for Dynamic Punch because that's kind of what Golurk does this generation, and look at Golurk just going to put in a little bit of work on his team. I'm going to go for Earthquake again on the Plume because it doesn't fucking matter if he goes back out to Electros, I can just kill it on the next turn. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Does anyone else remember when Electros was NU? That was a fun mon. He goes out to Exeggutor. I actually do run a bit of speed, but I'm not maxed, so it's not going to be a tie, and I'm just going to leave in Golurk to die. I can go with the Sock here, and I actually have knockoff on Sock. Shoutouts to when knockoff used to do 15% to Masharna. That's a banded adamant Sock. Does 15%. I'm going to go directly into Braviary, because it's really my only switch into Masharna. It was very risky, obviously. He could have went for Toxic or 2-Wave on my Sock. But he ends up baton passing out, seeing that I have a Braviary. He goes out to Seismitoad. I don't know if Charming Mander has ever played Gen 5 NU before, and I especially doubt he's ever played against me, specifically. But the steps that he's taking right now are not how you go about beating Sub-Bulk Braviary. This is how you go about losing to Sub-Bulk Braviary on turn 9. So, that's it. He's forfeiting. He realizes it's over, because about 10 people told him, just give up, dude. And yeah, I agree. I forgot to name this one Canada, because I built it in the team builder. This entire team was built in about 5 minutes, using my very limited knowledge of actual competitive Gen 5 NU. Back when I used to play Gen 5 NU, I was still a pretty big scrub. If you go back and watch some earlier videos on my channel, you'll see a lot of Sub-Bulk Braviary, you'll see a lot of Miltank. I think for some reason I had this huge obsession with physically defensive Miltank. I think that stemmed from the Chinchino era, when I realized Miltank, Rocky Helmet Miltank, beat Chinchino pretty handily. And it also got Stealth Rock, of course. But I don't know, I just had some unhealthy obsession for it. Meanwhile, fast forward about a year and a half, and I realize now that most Gen 5 NU teams look something like this, plus or minus a Skuntank, a Seismitoad, etc. These are pretty much staple mons. Regardless, that's how you win with Sub-Bulk Braviary in about 9 turns. And just everything about this tier just came flooding back. And I was actually laughing. I was having fun playing Mons, man. What a fucking concept. So that was round 1. Round 2? I think this was round 2. I ended up getting Canadian. He was in call with me, obviously. And in round 1, he brought Swagpard, which, if you don't know, is T-Wave, Swagger, Foul Play, Sublifard, the set that actually made me stop playing Pokemon in Gen 5 for about a week and a half when it got really popular. Because it's not fun to play against at all. Imagine Klefki just in NU. Unbelievably aggravating. He also brought Prankster Riolu with Roar and Hazard Stack, and just basically, I said, Evan, this tier is really fun. Do you want to make it not a complete aid sack of a battle? And he went and found a different RMT. So I actually managed to get 2 good battles to bring you guys today in a fun tier. So let's just get into this one. Looking at his team, don't really care what he's going to lead with. I assume that is going to be the Golem, because if you look at his teams, the only Stealth Rock user is generally Sturdy, which means I'm going to go to Sock, because Mold Breaker, Banded Sock, Okos, he prevents rocks. Obviously, looking at my team, I don't really want rocks. Unfortunately, he leads Girder. I'm going to go to Mushy, and I get my shit knocked off. I'm going to go back to Sock, get my band knocked off again, and I'm like, alright, you know what? Let me knock you off, see how you like it. So I knock off his Violite. I got my Sock knocked off as well, though, and it's rather low. He's going to go out into Skuntank on this turn. On the first time I sent out Masharna, he stayed in, predicting me to switch out, predicting the Skuntank. But he makes a bit of a misplay here. I don't actually have Baton Pass on that. My set is Moonlight, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Heal Bell. So he taunts me, predicting the Baton Pass, and I just get a free switch out to Sock, go for the Earthquake. And unfortunately, I don't have the balls to click Dynamic Punch on the Girder, so I am just going to go straight for Stealth Rock. I switched up my Braviary set. Instead of being sub-bulk up, I'm Sharp Beak 3 attack, and I did that just because I know he's going to be expecting it. I wanted to go Banded because I'm a real man, but I'm like, no, you know what, let's play it safe with Sharp Beak 3 attacks. It's kind of like a middle ground almost, and if you look at my team, nothing really took on Rotom Fan whatsoever, and because of the Stealth Rock and the Sharp Beak Breaker damage, he is now dead. And I forced him to switch out because obviously if he stayed in there he would have just lost to Masharna. Well, he does have a Skuntank, so he could have probably wheedled me out a little bit. But regardless, second time in a row I'm going to switch out and he taunts me predicting Baton Pass. He was scared of me Baton Passing the +1/+1 to Charizard and winning the game. Little does he know I'm actually SD Acro Charizard. But at this point, I leave Sock in because I assume he's going to be Special Samurott, and he actually reveals Aqua Jet. And then I go to Aloe, and I'm like, it's fine. This is going to be fucking Lumberry SD Samurott, which is designed to beat a Alomomola, and he's going to get 2 SDs as I Toxic. And even though, like I said, I haven't played competitive based Gen 5 NU very much at all, because back when it was actually a tier, I was pretty much a scrub. But, yeah, look at Alomomola here. 40 HP, 216 defense. Not even close to max physical bulk. Just straight beating a set that is designed to beat it, which is pretty cool in my opinion. He's gonna go into his Duosion as I get the Wish. I'm like, here, reveal Thunder. I know they run Thunder because it specifically beats Mandibuzz, but I didn't think he A, would hit it, or B, would have it. So, I'm forced out to Charizard. This is my last thing that can kill the Duosion. I do a Calc, and it actually does 43 to 50 with Flying Gem. So, which means I definitely would have killed his Duosion from that range. Unfortunately, he switches out to Golem. If I had Earthquake over Flare Blitz, I could have Swords Danced there and won the game on the spot. But unfortunately, that's not how it plays out. I also don't get to flinch with Waterfall here. And it's going to allow him to get up Stealth Rock, which is rather upsetting. I'm going to protect for an extra turn of lefties, whatever. Alomomola straps, yo. And at this point, it's going to be able to kill him off. Looking at the teams, Duosion definitely beats me at this point, unless I can flinch it here, which I don't, unfortunately. And obviously Zard can't come in, because after Rocks, he's just going to Thunder. I mean, I could Acro twice and hope for a Gen 5 crit, which does actual double damage. I could hope that he misses 2 Thunders. Like, there are options for me to win with Charizard, but I also don't want to lose Charizard, because Charizard, if I can beat this Duosion with Masharna, I just win with Charizard late game, because it'll be able to beat Skuntank, and it can Oko Mr. Girder with Acrobatics, even without a Flying Gem, because I knocked off his Violate early on with Sock. At this point, welcome to Gen 5 Calm Mind Wars. He's carrying Psychic because it hits Girder harder. I'm carrying Psychic because it hits Girder harder. If either one of us was carrying Psyshock, obviously this Calm Mind War wouldn't be much of a Calm Mind War, because the one with Psyshock would win. But as you can see, we both do about 15% to each other. I have lefties, which means I don't have to use my recovery move as much. Unfortunately, I'm down to 5 Moonlights, if I recall correctly, and he still has like 12 recovers. He also, we have the same amount of Calm Minds, we have about the same amount of Psychics. My last move has 8 PP, it's Heal Bell. His last move has 8 PP, it's Thunder. So it's literally a stalemate, and it's 100% whoever crits first wins the game. So he goes for Thunder, saying that Thunder is totally going to crit me before Psychic does, which I don't doubt for a second, but Regardless, at least it appears, if all things are equal, I could theoretically come out on top of this Combine War, because he's going to run out of Thunders. If he paralyzes me, I could obviously synchronize it over to him, and he'll bell it off. Unfortunately, all shit goes down the drain, because he ends up critting me first before I crit him. I, of course, still have a chance in this game, because Charizard could get a Gen 5 crit, which does double damage. Unfortunately, I don't get either of them. I still have technically one more chance. It's very slim, but Alomomola could flinch this twice and then try to stall out the rest of his team, but I don't get a single flinch. And that is going to be Gen 5 NU. A couple of games. Very, very fun team. I also fixed Charizard, so it actually has Earthquake now. Braviary is back to being sub-bulk up Braviary. I think I changed the item on Golurk to Rindoberry to take on Exeggutor, specifically, because I can chew a Giga Drain, maybe a Life Orb Leaf Storm, probably not a Specs Leaf Storm, and kill it with Shadow Punch. I don't know, change it to Pasho, change it to Colbur if you really want. Colbur would help you beat Zangoose, I suppose, because it is forced to Night Slash you and you can Dynamic Punch it. Plenty of options. You can also change Knockoff off of Sock. This is, of course, all depending on whether you actually want to play Gen 5 NU, which, if you don't want to, why don't you exactly want to? It's the best tier that's ever existed. And if you can actually find a battle, because let's be honest, the Gen 5 NU ladder is about the most dead ladder you can imagine. Regardless, super fun tier. If there's ever a tournament in the NU room, you can bet your ass I'm joining it. I'm probably going to build for it as well every time, because building teams in Gen 5 NU is just fun. Super easy, there's no way to remove hazards, so try not to use too many Charizards or Braviaries, but if you can get around hazards in a game, super, super, super fun. And that's about all I have for y'all today. I won't be at my computer or have access to my desktop, I guess is what I should be saying, on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday this week, because I'm heading home for the weekend. So don't expect any streams on those days. Not that I would stream those days anyway, normally. I was actually looking, I streamed last night, and I looked back, and I realized apparently I stream every Wednesday. Like, it's very, very consistent. Every week on Wednesday, I get really bored with my life, and I'm like, you know what? Or, sorry, Tuesday night. Tuesday nights are always when I end up streaming. It just seems like something clicks in my head, like, oh, haven't streamed in a while, should probably stream tonight. And it always ends up being a Tuesday night. But I'm going to try to get a better schedule in the future, but just a heads up, don't expect too much over the weekend. I'm going to try to pre-record 2 videos. I have a live with Joseph that I recorded last night at Call, I believe, and I have this video going up tonight, so expect maybe the live with Joseph going up Friday, and maybe a video featuring Smogon DMT going up Saturday night, potentially. That's all I really have to tell you all today. Maybe Monday I'll actually get around to uploading something different. Also, Don't Starve, the Let's Play. I'm not quite sure. Go bug Steven about it. I am free basically every day, and I know that Steven is doing like a 5-year, 6-year... He's doing a lot of engineering degrees in not very much time, so he's very busy constantly, and he has a job to work, etc., etc., has a social life as well. And he also likes playing Pokemon for some reason. But there have been a lot of times where we're both free in Call, and I ask him if he wants to record the next part of Don't Starve, and he's just like, we'll see. And he never gets around to it. So, I'm definitely trying. Go bug Steven if you want to see more Don't Starve. Tempted to turn it into a single-player thing, but that is definitely down the road if Steven does officially bow out. Regardless, enough speculation without me actually talking to Steven. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, a rating would be much appreciated. And let me know if you want to see more Gen 5 NU in the future. I like it infinitely more than Gen 6 NU. Maybe that'll change once Heliolisk and Steelix get banned. I also mentioned last night on stream something that I'm planning on doing in the very near future regarding Pokemon and Showdown in general, which should be good news for Pokemon lovers on my channel that haven't seen much lately. Expect me to get more consistent in the very near future, but more on that later. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy, guys. Have a good day. See you later. Peace out.